We've cranked up the cultural cortina for a trip that takes us all over the country to kick off BBC Two's Summer of British Film season.
We take a stroll through London's Notting Hill to star in our very own romantic comedy.
Oh, he's so grumpy.
I descend to the underbelly of the capital to meet Clockwork Orange star Warren Clarke.
Would they recognise me?
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
The lips still the same?
I'll be taking tea at Gosford Park with screenwriter Julian Fellows.
I'll be heading up to Dumfries and Galloway to join Edward Woodward on the site of The Wicker Man.
Oh, God! Oh, Jesus Christ!
I stop off in Sheffield to meet the real-life strippers inspired by the Full Monty.
And we hook up in Edinburgh for a little bit of train spotting. But our first stop is the capital, the film location most suggested by you.
Mark, I've been meaning to talk to you about that early start.
London, a city of stunning vistas and imposing buildings, the instantly recognisable backdrop for thousands of British films. But where is everybody? In 2002, a brief sequence in a low-budget British film reimagined London for millions of cinema-goers. The throbbing capital was miraculously emptied as a dazed young man wandered the streets alone. The sequence was extraordinary, a million miles away from the chocolate box skylines of Mary Poppins, the swinging streets of Alfie, or the picture postcard romance of Bridget Jones. The director was Danny Boyle, and the film was 28 days later.
She may be the face I can't forget, the trace of beauty or regret, maybe the treasure or the prize.
car and put you out and you can walk.
Oh, come on, cheer up, you grumpy swine. Look, it's pretty. We're in a pretty place. It's nice, having a nice time.
I don't really do nice.
Yes, folks, we're in Notting Hill, a whole London neighbourhood that's become synonymous with a single film.
And if you want to live out your Notting Hill fantasy in full, you can always come here to the Travel Bookshop, the very store which inspired the movie. What? It did.
OK, so Notting Hill is clearly a real place. But what about Notting Hill the movie? Are the films of Richard Curtis an accurate picture of a cleaner, happier London, or are they just urban fairy tales? Discuss. So tell me what it is that you love about those Richard Curtis comedies.
Well, I think they're kind of romantic and escapist, and you know, they portray a London where it always snows at Christmas.
The sort of picture that he paints of this area, it's like Narnia. It's like this market, except every face in it is white and middle class, and everyone's drinking cappuccino and working in bookshops. It's not representative of the area at all.
It's somebody's version, and everybody's version is valid. Well, I think that Richard Curtis portrays London as a village.
I think the village that he portrays it as is Brigadoon.
Oh, you're so grumpy. Come on, let's go and get an organic muffin.
This old churchyard at Anwath was the setting for one of the pivotal scenes in the film.
Oh my gosh. It just... I want to cry. It hasn't changed at all, not at all. I had this tremendous sort of feeling then, and it still has it now. Sheepers, creepers.
On the pagan island of Summerisle, the old traditions have been cast aside. Sergeant Howie, a devout Christian, is shocked to discover that the local church has been desecrated.
Where the heck is the altar?
Well, is the altar a prop?
Gosh, it may well have been a prop. If it wasn't...
So he walks through and it should be
He walks through and it should be there. This is where he is determined from this moment, when he finds this place desecrated, he's determined that he's going to get to the bottom of this, what is obviously anti-Christian.
It's like you're on the set of the film. It's like
yes,
it was
absolutely.
built for the film.
Absolutely.
Shall we wander back through this way?
Sure.
I think, as Christopher Lee says, it's time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
It's a very good impersonation.
Thank you very much. That Wicker Man provided one of the most shocking plot twists in British cinema. A policeman investigating a human sacrifice becomes the sacrifice himself. The whole sequence was filmed on a remote stretch of coastline at Burrowhead. That, I would think, would be the right leg.
Yes.
And I think that would make this the left leg.
You're absolutely right.
Coming up.
That was definitely the way we came.
Dear God! No, Christ!
I was dragged. I was wearing a shift,
Yes.
white shift. And I
had
had my hat
thermals on underneath it because it was freezing.
Well, I couldn't, no.
Oh, so there's...
I couldn't because my legs were bare. I just had to suspend belief that I had to keep saying warm, warm, warm,
Yes.
hot, hot.
Edinburgh, the last stop on our tour, and the location for one of your most requested films. If only I could find me co-presenter.
Where have you been?
Sorry, I've been communing with Edward Woodward on the set of The Wicker Man.
OK, that is quite a good excuse, actually.
What have you been up to?
Just hanging around here, doing a bit of train spotting.
Trainspotting was released in 1996 and was instantly assumed into the pantheon of British film classics.
The story of a group of Edinburgh friends and heroin addicts and their darkly comic exploits. It was adapted from the novel by Irvine Welsh and directed by Danny Boyle.
Trainspotting may have been about drug addiction and death, but the visual style was vibrant and exciting.
And at the centre of it all was Edinburgh, a place usually associated with high culture and grand architecture. Scotland's most genteel city was being turned completely on its head. There he goes again, acting up. And he's not the only one. Over the past few weeks, we've been asking you to send in your own film tributes to the classics of British cinema. Here are a few of our favourites.
So you can stay indoors and revel in our glorious cinematic history with BBC Two's season of 50 great British films, from the 39 Steps to Bend It Like Beckham.
Sadly, though, this is the end of the current series of the Culture Show.
We're back here in August for 3 special shows from the Edinburgh Festival, and then the Culture Show returns in the autumn for a cracking new series.
Indeed we do. But before we go, we leave you with a Culture Show exclusive from a band who soundtracked one of the most iconic sequences in modern British cinema history. They're back later this year with a new album and about to go out on tour. From Trainspotting, this is Underworld with Born Slippy.
Have a great summer.
So what's your favourite location then, Mark?
Got to be the Wicker Man for me, really. What about you?
I'm going to say Notting Hill, just to make you cross.
Leave it.
Nah.
Drug boy, dancing on Angel boy, in the doorway boy. She was a lipstick boy, she was a beautiful boy, and tears boy.